Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. Isis, Escape from Transylvania. The goddess next door and John Haynes must escape a horde of vampires on the hunt in this horror-filled Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Escape from Transylvania in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. I was on Facebook last night and I was reading a post which talked about why some black women felt they had to join the white feminist movement. Now, this post talked about how these black women who were part of the civil rights movement felt they were unappreciated and not valued, and how some of these black women were upset because some of these civil rights leaders and civil rights activists were out here pursuing relationships with white women. Now, when it comes down to those black women who were part of the civil rights movement who decided to join the feminist movement, I see them as people who just did not understand the big picture, nor did they understand what men were trying to do for them. Now, when it came down to these women, they were upset that they had secretarial positions and positions of low levels in the civil rights movement. But what they didn't understand is that as the help, meet, and support, they were helping meet those men's day-to-day needs so that they could go out and do the heavy lifting. Moreover, those men were trying to protect those women so that they would not have to deal with many of the hardships that they had to deal with every day. So those men were trying to be protectors and they were trying to lead the women. Unfortunately, they didn't appreciate what the men were trying to do because when it came down to those women, they oftentimes looked at that white woman who was standing out there in the feminist movement, standing on her own, and they coveted the power that she had. And when she started to see some of these more dysfunctional Negroes who were part of the civil rights movement pursuing relationships with white women, she also did not think critically and objectively about that. Now, when it came down to those Negro males who were out here who were pursuing those relationships, these were deeply troubled individuals who had bought into the poison Kool-Aid of integration. And these women thought, oh, that they were upset about emotionally about these men buying into the integration Kool-Aid, and their idea to get spite on those guys was to go out here and join this feminist movement to be with the exact same white woman they had issue with, and not seeing how them joining that white woman was completely backwards. But when it comes down to many of those black women, they had a covert contract with these white women because in actuality, many of those black women, they wanted that power of that white woman, they wanted that status of that white woman, and they wanted to be on the same level of that white woman. And some of them actually wanted to be just like that white woman. Unfortunately, when it comes down to many of the black women who have joined with the feminist movement, what they didn't understand is that everything as related to that white woman is a lie. And the reason why everything about that white woman is a lie is because everything that makes that white woman the pinnacle of beauty and the ultimate ideal in the world is she is that way because white men have gone out of their way to elevate that white woman to that high position. And it's many of those white men who go out here and use their resources to make that image of the white woman what it is. So what she's coveting is all a lie. And I understood this to be true after watching the 1934 version of Imitation of Life and the 1959 version of Imitation of Life. Now, in the 1934 version of Imitation of Life, we see that this white woman is a liar, and what she does is she uses her beauty and her charm to manipulate men into giving her what she wants in order to open the pancake restaurant. Moreover, she goes to the black woman, and the black woman gives her the recipe, and again, the black woman helps elevate this white woman. So this white woman is not who she actually is. She's actually just as broke and dusty as the black woman. But if it wasn't for the black woman and the white man elevating the white woman, she wouldn't be the woman that she is. This paragon of beauty, this pinnacle of beauty, and this object that every man desires. The only reason why she is on that pedestal is because white men and black women put her on that pedestal. Now, when it comes down to the black woman, the black woman has always had a supporter on her side. And that supporter has always been all of these brothers out here who have gone out of their way to try to elevate this black woman in the same way the white man has elevated his own woman. Unfortunately, the black women in the community don't appreciate many of those men who have tried to elevate her and elevate her standard of beauty and also try to protect her and support her, because when it comes down to the black woman, she does not see the work that men are trying to do for her. All she does is look over at the white woman, and in some cases even tries to help elevate the white woman, not understanding that, again, everything about her is a lie, and because she believes the lie about the white woman, she can't see the truth regarding the black men who are trying to elevate her image, because it's those black men who had gone out here and used the limited resources they had to go out here and publish magazines like Ebony and Jet. Those were the men who were trying to elevate the black woman's image. Unfortunately, many of those black women didn't appreciate what those black men were trying to do, and because they always coveted the white woman's standard and the white woman's position, what they did was they went and joined this feminist movement, believing that one day they would be on the same level as the white woman. Unfortunately, when it comes down to this white female, the white man does not want to have the black woman on the same level as his woman, nor do some of these black females want black women on the same level as the white woman. No, what they want to do is keep elevating that white woman to that high and prominent level that is nothing more than a lie, and they want to keep her on that position because as long as they can look up to her, they don't have to look down at themselves and take responsibility for themselves, nor do they have to go and look at those black men who are trying to elevate her or trying to support her, because they are in the presence of this white man, and they believe if they can get closer to that white man, then maybe possibly he might elevate her to a higher position. But that's never going to happen, because in America, when it comes down to the white man is always going to elevate his woman to a high position, because that's what he invests his resources in. And he invests his resources in the white female because that's the woman who's going to have his children, and that's who he's going to pass his legacy on with. And he's not going to elevate black women because that's not part of his family lineage or his seed. Now, when it comes down to many of these black women, they believe that the black man is someone who does not care about them, when in actuality, many black men care about black women. Unfortunately, many black women don't love themselves, and that's why they joined that feminist movement, because they wanted to be equal with white women, but they didn't understand that everything, again, regarding the white woman is a lie. And because everything about the white woman is a lie, they can never achieve equality with this white woman, because white men tell lies to themselves about this white woman, and white women tell lies to the white man about herself, and you will never be on the same level, because there is no level to get on, because everything about those levels is nothing more than a lie. If it wasn't for that white man elevating that white woman and that black woman elevating that white woman, she would crash off that pedestal and fall to the ground, just like that woman in Imitation of Life was on the ground, and just as poor and just as struggling as that black woman was. Because when you take a look at Imitation of Life, you see that both of those women, when they start out, are on the same level, but the only reason why that white woman comes up is because of that black woman and that white man, and if it wasn't for them, she would fall back off that pedestal and be just like everyone else. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.